company is IntelliCheck. His name is Bryan Lewis. We became friends off the air, and we've lost track of each other over the last several months. But it's really an interesting company. If you go to IntelliCheck.com, but it's the first thing he ever said to me on air was, all of our personal data is out there. Remember when you bought the computer from Price Club, Costco, and it had Prodigy on it in America Online, now called AOL.
You've got mail.
Right. And the first thing you did at CompuServe
Yeah.
is, oh, here's my driver's license number, and what's my social, honey? Here it is. And mother's maiden name. Hey, I need a password. What's the dog's name again? Sparky. And this is what we did the first day. And as a result of that, all of our information's out there. And here to help combat that is our good friend Bryan Lewis. Bryan, so great to see you again, pal. How are you?
I'm really well. And I just want to first say, I'm so sorry to hear about Rusty. What an awesome guy.
Yeah, I know, especially since Mike's here now. It sucks, you know. Really, on days like this, we really miss him. Okay, so, no, we miss him every day. Hey, listen.
Thank you.
25 years, he was my work wife. But here, I have to ask you, in the last year since we've spoken, on air anyway, have we gotten any better at protecting our personal information? Because at this point, I kind of feel like you have to erase the internet and start over again if we're going to get our privacy back. Is that the case?
Yeah, I'm going to say that it's gotten worse. You know, since the first time we spoke in 2019, actually, the amount of money stolen through identity theft and fraud has gone up 250%. Last year was a total of $52 billion was taken from people. So no, we're not getting worse. We're not getting better. We're getting worse.
I think, you know, part of the issue is that, you know, identity theft and fraud is driving enormous losses, not just for you and I, but for banks, for insurance companies, for retail organizations. And at the end of the day, that's going to trickle down to our pocketbooks, to an ever-increasing inflationary problem anyway. Talk about exactly what IntelliCheck does.
So we're in the business of authenticating people to make sure that you are who you say you are when you're applying for a loan, or want to change your bank account credentials, or change your email password. We're used for making sure that in something that could signal identity theft, it's you, and they don't have to worry about doing the transaction. Because you're right, it affects everybody, and it comes all back to us in terms of how much it costs the end merchandise.
And for you, talk about the mechanics of that when you get engaged by a company, bank, municipality, so on and so forth. Because part of this is municipalities, part of this is Homeland Security, part of this is the DMV, so on and so forth.
Yeah, we're pretty simple but very accurate. What we do is, as part of the enrollment process, we're going to make you, our clients will make you, one, authenticate your license, whether you're standing in front of me. I can, if it's in a store, use a scanning gun at checkout if you're applying for instant credit to make sure the license is real and populate the application. If it is something that you're doing it online, some of our clients go even to the point of, we're going to make sure the license is real, take a photo of the front, and OCR that what is in the front matches what's in the encrypted barcode with all the security features. And then even go so far as to say, let's take a selfie to make sure that not only do we know that the document is real, but you're also still the one holding it.
So, Bryan, by the way, Bryan Lewis is the CEO of a company called IntelliCheck. So have you where the next place this is going is? Big events, big arenas. I mean, you're a sports guy. And with the fraud, the amount of fraud that goes on in Super Bowls and NBA championships and
every year,
baseball.
Every year.
Is there an overlay here, Bryan, for sporting events and concerts and such like that? I mean, I went to go see, I even hate to tell you guys this, other than Arnie, a part of the Day Trader Trio. I hate to tell you this, but I went to go see Journey and Toto the other day. No, it was awesome.
You should be proud to say that.
I know I am. But the point is that there were even people getting pulled over the side of the line, okay? Because of the fraud going on out there. I mean, is there overlays for stuff like this, Bryan?
Well, I think a lot of the fraud there is because people are selling fake tickets. So you should know who you're dealing with in that transaction. And, I certainly think that, the online companies that sell these tickets should be authenticating the people to make sure that they're real. We currently work with a business that sells person-to-person, very high-end wines. And the reason they're doing that is because so many people counterfeit wines the same way that they counterfeit tickets. So they should be there. And we're already in a lot of stadiums right now to make sure that, underage people aren't drinking. So a simple logical extension of that, I think.
In this race between good and bad, are the bad people who are just coming up with different ways to steal identity, are they, how far out ahead are they, like groups like yours, in doing the bad things?
Well, where they're winning right now is because there's really two ways they steal your identity. One, they bought your information online and they use that to, become you.
Okay.
The other way is you give them all the information. So, that's all the phishing and the spoofing attempts.
Sure.
And people fall for it. And not just people, businesses. We've had people come at us. They sent to my CFO an email chain that supposedly was from me and the chairman about a bill that we hadn't paid. And then emailed that supposedly from me to the CFO telling him to instantly wire money to this bank account. Jeez. And, we're diligent about what we do. And the email address was mine, but they switched the I and the L in the email address. And a lot of people will fall for that. So you have to be really diligent because that's what they're doing. Even like LinkedIn is the most spoofed website out there. They send an email to you. You click the link and it takes you to what looks like a LinkedIn site and asks for your credentials to log in. Now they take that knowing that most of us use the same passwords across multiple websites, including your bank. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to check where can we log in using these credentials. And eventually they're going to find a hole and they're going to get you. So change your passwords.
Yeah,
Don't use the same passwords.
His name is Bryan Lewis, and of course, Bryan Lewis is the CEO of IntelliCheck. Stock symbol IDN on the NASDAQ, and of course, IntelliCheck. Listen, you're locked in now, pal. You're not getting out. You're coming back on a regular basis, Bryan. So good to see you, pal.